Harriet Tubman, born Araminta Ross around 1822 on the Brodess Plantation in Dorchester County, Maryland, emerged from the shackles of slavery to become one of America's most revered icons of freedom and human dignity. She was the fifth of 9 children born to Harriet Ritt Green and Ben Ross, both slaves. Araminta, affectionately known as Minty by her family, grew up in a world of harsh realities and unyielding cruelty. From a young age, Harriet experienced the brutalities of slavery firsthand. Her early life was marked by severe physical hardship, as she was often hired out to various households to perform arduous tasks. At the age of 5, she was put to work as a nursemaid and was frequently whipped for perceived transgressions. These early experiences of violence and suffering instilled in her a profound sense of resilience and an unshakable resolve to seek freedom. Life as a slave. The conditions of slavery were incredibly harsh and unforgiving. Harriet endured relentless physical and emotional abuse throughout her childhood. One particularly traumatic incident occurred when she was about 13 years old. Harriet intervened to prevent the capture of a runaway slave, resulting in a severe head injury when an overseer threw a heavy metal weight at her. The blow fractured her skull, causing lifelong health issues, including severe headaches and narcolepsy, a condition where she would fall into sudden, deep sleeps. Despite these adversities, Harriet's spirit remained unbroken. Her mother's tales of biblical deliverance and her father's knowledge of the natural world inspired her deeply. These influences cultivated a powerful sense of faith and a practical understanding of the environment, skills that would later prove crucial in her missions to free others. The escape to freedom. By 1849, Harriet had had enough of the bonds of slavery. Facing the prospect of being sold and separated from her family, she made the courageous decision to flee. Guided by the North Star and aided by the Underground Railroad, a clandestine network of safe houses and abolitionists, she embarked on her perilous journey to freedom. Harriet traveled alone, covering approximately 90 miles on foot to reach Pennsylvania, a free state. Her successful escape did not mark the end of her journey, but rather the beginning of a lifelong mission to rescue others from bondage. After settling in Philadelphia and finding work, Harriet began to plan how she could return to the South to help liberate her family and friends. The conductor on the Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman's daring and determination transformed her into a legendary conductor on the Underground Railroad. Over the next decade, she made 13 expeditions back to the South, rescuing more than 70 slaves, including her own family members. Harriet's efforts were characterized by meticulous planning, deep knowledge of the terrain, and unwavering courage. The journeys were fraught with danger. Slave catchers, harsh weather, and treacherous landscapes posed constant threats. Yet, Harriet's keen instincts and extraordinary leadership ensured that she never lost a passenger. She carried a revolver for protection and was known to use spirituals, such as go-down Moses, to communicate with escapees. Her resolve was unyielding. She famously declared that she never ran her train off the track and never lost a passenger. Harriet's work extended beyond guiding slaves to freedom. She established strong networks with abolitionists, including William Still, Frederick Douglass, and John Brown. These connections not only provided crucial support for her missions, but also amplified the abolitionist movement's efforts to end slavery in the United States. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, Harriet Tubman's skills and dedication were directed toward the Union cause. She served in various capacities, including as a nurse, cook, scout, and spy. Harriet's intimate knowledge of Southern terrain and slave communities made her an invaluable asset to the Union Army. One of her most significant contributions came in June 1863, when she led the Combahee River Raid in South Carolina. Collaborating with Colonel James Montgomery, she guided Union troops up the Combahee River, enabling them to destroy Confederate supply lines and liberate more than 700 slaves. This mission showcased Harriet's exceptional strategic acumen and solidified her reputation as a formidable leader. Beyond her direct involvement in military operations, Harriet also provided care and comfort to wounded soldiers and newly liberated slaves. Her work as a nurse involved treating soldiers with herbal remedies and providing emotional support to those traumatized by the horrors of war. Harriet's compassionate and resilient spirit endeared her to many, and her contributions were widely recognized by her peers and superiors. After the Civil War, Harriet Tubman continued to champion the causes of freedom, equality, and justice. She settled in Auburn, New York, where she purchased a small farm. Despite facing financial difficulties, she remained committed to helping others, using her home as a haven for those in need. Harriet became a prominent advocate for women's suffrage, working alongside leading suffragists such as Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She traveled across the country, speaking at rallies and conventions to promote the rights of women to vote. Harriet's advocacy was rooted in her belief in universal equality, and she often drew parallels between the struggles for racial and gender equality. In 1908, Harriet fulfilled a long-held dream by opening the Harriet Tubman Home for the Aged, a sanctuary for elderly African Americans. The home was established on land she had purchased years earlier, and it provided care and support for those who had nowhere else to turn. Harriet's efforts to provide for the elderly were a testament to her enduring compassion and commitment to serving her community. Harriet Tubman passed away on March 10, 1913, at the age of 91. Her death marked the end of an extraordinary life dedicated to the pursuit of freedom and justice. She was buried with military honors at Fort Hill Cemetery in Auburn, New York, a fitting tribute to her service and sacrifice. Harriet Tubman's legacy is vast and enduring. She is remembered as a symbol of courage, resilience, and unwavering commitment to human dignity. Her life and achievements continue to inspire generations of people around the world. Harriet's story is a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have in the fight for justice and equality. In recognition of her contributions, numerous schools, buildings, and institutions have been named in her honor. In 2016, the U.S. Treasury announced plans to feature Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, a testament to her lasting significance in American history. While the redesign has faced delays, the proposal underscores her profound influence and the enduring legacy of her fight for freedom.